Hey everyone, I'm Jonathan from Motocycology. Welcome to the channel. For the new viewers, welcome, and for the returning viewers, welcome back, and thanks so much for your continual support. It's greatly appreciated. So in today's video, it's another trial out with the motorcycle vlogging, showing you around some of the local scenery on the Suzuki GSXR, and also I'm going to be showing some motorcycle riding techniques, more of a defensive driving posture to a certain extent. Anyway, let me know if you guys have any other ideas, because I'm thinking about starting kind of a beginner's orientation to motorcycle riding, including how to operate a motorcycle and then how to ride it and ride it safely within the limits of the rider. So that's what my goal is. Anyway, this is just a vlog. I'm going to keep the vlogs going. They're really about a little bit of a motorcycle ride when the weather is good, and then also talking about other things of interest, either Corvette projects or current affairs. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, stick around for this video and check it out. All right, let's get going here. Got to make this light, of course. Just okay, so driving through town here. What a day, what a past 24 hours with assassination attempts. I have never seen anything like that before. I guess there's been other attempts on Reagan back in the day, and I can remember that. And you know, there's a series of assassinations back in the 60s with Robert Kennedy and Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy, all those people. And interestingly enough, I was thinking about it, I was even alive when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. So I was super young, but I was still alive. And that's really tenuous times, I think, on the planet right now from a global security and a political point of view. It's really different. It's changed so much since the pandemic, and then also coming through post-pandemic inflation and all that type of stuff. So it's been a long time. I mean, I also grew up in the Cold War, and a lot of you guys who are watching haven't experienced that, but it was crazy times for sure. And for those of us who were living in North America or the Western world, it was kind of like the free world, you know, the good people, the freedom, where we had the freedom to do what we want, which we still do. But behind, so the communist world was known as behind the Iron Curtain. And many times when I was younger and I went to Europe, there's no way that we were going to go to East Germany or Poland, or back then Czechoslovakia, or even Yugoslavia. Oh, so here's my local small town here, which is kind of nice. They've done a small town beautification project over the past few years, and one thing that was included is this gorgeous brand new bridge that replaced one that was about 100 years old. And this once again goes over the Mississippi. I personally really like those red Thunderbirds that just went by. I would consider buying one of those if I could get one for the right price. Not that I'm a real fan of Ford Thunderbirds, I just like that particular car. It looks pretty good. Okay, here's a guy on a motorcycle. Here we go. Motorcycle etiquette. So I'm heading to a smaller country town, which is just up the road, maybe about 6 miles or so, and we'll take it from there. So geared down here in first gear, I've got my hand on the front brake, which is here, this hand here, and my foot is on the rear brake, and you get so much more braking power through the front than you do for the rear, so you always have to be aware of that and make sure that you don't hammer down the front brake very hard, because there's a possibility that your whole bike will turn over. So you have to manage your braking for sure. And then with the rear brake, it's pretty good, but it doesn't have the same braking power to stop you, so it's got to be a good combination of both. So those are good things to use for sure, good things to remember. Lots of people out on their motorcycles today. A little bit of road construction, you got to watch that. This one's not a big deal. Riding on gravel on a super sport bike is not the funnest thing in the world, and nor is it fun riding in the rain, so I really try and avoid that. It makes a bike that you feel very confident on something that you don't feel confident on. You can't do things like this in the wet, for example. You just don't have that sticking power. And I think we're going to make this light no problem. So after my last vlog, which was the 13th of July 2024, I had mentioned some stuff about the US presidential race and Trump and Biden, and then when I got home I turned on the news and I saw that assassination attempt, and regardless of who it was against, just not fair for anyone. I really feel for the people that were in the crowd, and my condolences go out to the families of the people. And I have never seen anyone be shot at and have their ear or their body grazed so closely without any, you know, any injuries beyond that. And I'm looking forward to learning about how close that bullet was, where it came from, and what a stroke of good fortune for the Donald to be able to kind of make it through that. Like, it's just almost hard to believe that a bullet can come so close to somebody and not hit them. So thank all the forces on the planet that, you know, another human being wasn't assassinated in public, regardless of people's feelings towards the gentleman or anyone else. It was just not cool, not fair at all, and really scary to see, I think, from a global point of view. Anyway, that's part of the current affairs on this 14th of July 2024. We're heading up on a highway here. It's a pretty straightforward drive. Once again, all these black things on the road, they are not a motorcyclist friend. So the best thing to always be aware of is, you know, it's okay to cross them perpendicularly, but if you end up going in the same direction that they're going, because it's a softer material, if your front motorcycle tire gets caught up in that, it's just a really awkward feeling. And if you're new to motorcycle riding, that can throw you off big time. So just something to be aware of and think ahead of. So once again, another beautiful day. The corn is growing, either cattle corn or sweet corn. is growing. It's got a few months left before they harvest it, but it looks really, really nice, very summery. So right now I'm cruising at about 60 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. It's a very straightforward drive here. And the town that we're going up to is a really touristy town. And for those of you who don't know, the guy that invented basketball was born in this town, or super close by. So they have a statue of the guy who invented basketball. So we'll see that on the way up. It's really funny to notice that you're living close to some historic places. Another place that I don't live too far away from is Syracuse, New York. And I go there a few times a year to watch some of the college football games and other college sports, and just for a day out. There's also another town called Watertown, which is a great place to go as far as shopping. And might even, once we're in Syracuse, sometimes we go down to Ithaca and go to the farmers market there. And there's a YouTuber guy there called Pete, and his channel is Just a Few Acres Farm. So I've gone down there to meet him and talk to him. He's a really nice guy, very open, and his channel is fun and friendly and interesting if you're in the farming community. So he's a knowledgeable, multi-talented farmer that is kind of like a jack of all trades. He's family friendly. He raises cattle. Sometimes he has pigs that he's raising, and he raises chickens, not only for the eggs, but also he's got broiler chickens that they sell as well. So very good channel. I like it, and it's one of these channels that are fun to watch to decompress from your normal day, I guess. So talking about YouTube channels, where's the channel Motocycology going? Well, it's growing and it's trying to diversify, and definitely Motocycology is a play on anything to do with motor, i.e. cars or motorcycles. And I have been riding a motorcycle for quite a while in my adult life. I am fully licensed, tons of experience, and I like it. I enjoy it. I'm not a super hobbyist as far as motorcycles are concerned. I enjoy them. I do obviously my own maintenance on this bike here. I've had this since it was brand new. I've basically been the only rider and have put on thousands of miles on this particular bike and never had an accident on it before. I will be open. I've dropped it a couple times on the driveway and in the garage, and that's just for doing, let's say, forgetful things and stuff like that. So I hope not to have a real motorcycle ride, obviously. So here's another motorcyclist in front of me. At this distance, you're generally okay, and this distance at speed, but if I'm on a highway, I'll kind of move over to the right tire track. So that's how I organize the lane here, in a left and a right tire track. So when I'm this close, it makes sense to go into this right tire track. That's just the way you do it. So we're coming into this town called Elmont. It's in Elmont, Ontario, and it's the home of the guy that invented basketball. James Naismith is his name, and this is where he comes from. I think he would be really surprised to know how popular basketball is at a collegiate, high school, college, and professional level, both for men and women. I think he'd be super proud. So this is the hometown here. It's very much a summery town. a touristy type of town. It's an older Ontario town, so you have lots of nice looking stores. Very much a walkable town. And then coming up here on kind of, I guess it would be my 11 o'clock, is the statue of James Naismith. And they decorate this guy for Halloween and Christmas and Valentine's. So he's right there on the left. So this is where he came from. And we're turning left here. Oh, we didn't get that. That's great. Well, we'll just kind of wait here. I'm doing a left, but once again, you'll notice that I kind of went over into the right-hand turn lane, and that is to avoid situations where you want to go left and somebody squeezes up and pinches you in the right. It's just a safer way. You might as well block them. I know it's probably frustrating to them, but it's not really for very long that you have to do that. I've always ridden with motorcycle gloves on. I don't know if anyone else has not, but I don't know what it would be like to be riding without them. All right, so I'm good to go. I'm going to check my left and pull away when there's no cars coming. All right, let's go. Nice historic old buildings, probably made from local stone and things like that around here. Now we're going over another bridge, which is part of the same river, part of Mississippi River. You can see the sign there, maybe that says Mississippi, but super nice. We live around so much water in this area that it's a great place for boating and doing other water sports as well. There's so many lakes in Ontario, there's so many rivers. So much water for a province that is basically in central Canada, right? It's kind of cool. Not to mention the Great Lakes as well. So we're heading up this way here. This is more traffic going on. There we go. Whoops. All right, let's get out of here. We got like a traffic jam-ish going on up here. So this motorcycle is water cooled or liquid cooled, I guess. The normal operating temperature is, let's say, 100 degrees Celsius. When it goes over 100, then it's got an electric fan that goes on as well to keep it cool, but it's never overheated per se. But when you're at a stop sign or a stoplight and it's this hot outside, you can feel the engine temperature right between your legs and on either side of your thighs. You can feel it warming up like crazy. So here I'm at 101 right now, and it's gonna probably pop up to 104 with this type of weather. And we're just going through some of the outskirts of this town here. And up here at the roundabout, which generally there's not a lot of these things around, but they seem to be getting more popular. So I'm going to go around the complete thing and then exit to the right, but I'll go around it just for fun. So I'm gearing down into like second gear here to just casually go around here. So now I'll just like spend some time going around here. In fact, some of these slower skills are really important for new motorcyclists to master. The hardest parts about motorcycling is not going fast. It's about going slow. Much more difficult. Now I've got this long straightaway here. All our what I was going to say is all our measurements in Canada are in metric, and when I was growing up it was like in the States everything is imperial, so I learned everything like gallons and pounds and pints and quarts and Fahrenheit. And then probably when I was maybe in grade 6 or 7 they changed it to metric, and that was super hard for us to learn. It took a while, but it's not that difficult. It's all based on tens. So if you have, you know, there's 10 millimeters in a centimeter, there's 100 centimeters in a meter, there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer, and it's the same with grams and kilograms as well. So it's easier to do math with, but at the same time, for those of you who know what an inch is, and you understand how it's broken down into eighths and quarters and 16s and 32s and 64s, you kind of have to use your imagination on what would be 2/8 of a complete inch. So you have to know how, in your head, know how much an inch is, and then how many eighths would be in an inch, if that makes sense. So you need to know the sizes a little bit more to help you understand the math behind it. Metric, you also avoid all the fraction work as well, which makes it a little bit easier to conceptualize and do the calculations in your head. At least that's my opinion anyway. Other people would have other opinions. So this is a long country road. I'm at 108, and you know what? Sometimes it's good to accelerate. I'm just going to gear down into 5th gear and just let it rip a little bit. Here we go. Going way too fast here. I don't know what it would be like to ride motorcycles without a full face mask, because I just got hit right here with a fly, and that's really close to my eye there. So sometimes you can wipe it off, sometimes it just makes it worse. From my point of view, looking through, that is better than having a fly on it. My motorcycle training, I got an initial practical course over a weekend at a college, and that was basically for operating the motorcycle. So less to do about how to drive it, but how to operate it safely. And then I took an advanced course, which is all about operating a motorcycle or driving your motorcycle in various conditions, including city conditions, neighborhood conditions, and then highway conditions like this, and then also faster highway conditions that are over 100 or over 60 miles an hour. How to merge on them effectively, how to do your lane changes and things like that, and then also how to exit properly. All right, so I did this corner in my other vlog. So these are some of the fun local big sweeping corners. I don't go too fast over them, just to be safe, but it's a fun feeling. And for those of you that do ride motorcycles or want to, people love doing corners on motorcycles. They're so much fun. So once again, I'm just cruising at about 60 something miles an hour, and I'm in the left lane, and then I'll just inch over to the right, and that just opens the apex up for the corner and gives you a straighter pattern in there, a straighter angle to go in. And then once you're in it, you just lean, push on your, for me, I'm pushing on my left handlebar, and it's doing great. So I was coming out of there at 125 kilometers, which is maybe 70 something miles an hour. So you wouldn't know that, eh? It's pretty smooth. I'll try to do this corner without doing the apex, and it's a little bit more aggressive, I guess. Boom. I love that feeling. It's really cool. Beautiful farmland out here. Another funny thing about riding a motorcycle is you don't have a rear view mirror, so you're looking in your rear view left and right a lot, and you just have to get used to not seeing directly behind you. So I'm going to go down this ramp as if I'm going to Toronto. There we go. That's always an awkward entrance to the ramp, I find. It comes on really, really quick. All right, so this is kind of fun. I usually take these in about third gear, do about 60 kilometers an hour. Have to be aware that the road is not slippery, and then look out for oil patches as well, because then you'll drop your bike. On that case, it would be the low side drop. So now we're merging in. I take my time, check my mirrors, do a shoulder check, and then I'm already doing about 140. Quickly, I was going to say I was going to quickly pass these guys, but I'll pass this person anyway. Same thing, shoulder check, move out into the lane. There we go. It's always a weird feeling when you're learning how to, or when you're new riding a motorcycle, driving in busy traffic, like fast traffic. I mean, cars are big, semi-trucks are big, so on a motorcycle you can feel very vulnerable. And we're getting ready to slow down, and we're going to do, I think, a right turn here. Way up on the left at this intersection is Home Depot. I was just there earlier today to get some stuff for my guitars. All right, there's a license plate from Quebec, which is a French-speaking province. Whoa, that was not cool for me to do that, but and we've got another place over here that has Walmarts and places like that to shop at, which is kind of good. Can close up on this guy really fast. The acceleration on these are crazy. It's insane. I could almost go by this guy. Bunch of guys with ape hangers, sports bike guy. This is the worst road for motorcycle riding. It doesn't look like it's bad, but it has all these weird grooves in it that catch your front tire and make it wobble. It was resurfaced last year, but they did not a very good job at it at all. All right, we're coming back to end this vlog for today. So yeah, crazy things in the world. Thankfully, there's some good sports going on as well that is always fun to watch. So you got to find a balance, you guys, between all the stress on the planet and life in general. It's a pretty good day to be washing your vehicle as well. It's super hot here. This is also a super cold place in the winter as well. All right, so I'm here and I'm gonna get this thing in. Hey everyone, that concludes the motorcycle vlog for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, saw some motorcycling and some of the local scenery around my neighborhood. I got more of these vlogs ongoing, plus a whole bunch of other work on this Corvette, which is filmed or partially filmed or a work in progress. Anyway, thanks so much for your support. Stick around and we'll see you right back here next time.